Just recently picked up this whole box of vintage crockery from an antique store. So definitely like a puzzle, but look at the age of this.
So at an auction a while ago, we picked this cash register up. The main reason was Yvonne wanted these.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you're landed on Ginger Chick, the Journey channel, the behind the scenes what Chris and I do on a daily basis. So in this video, we're not shopping, we're not at an auction, we're not at an antique store. We are doing some restorations, we're doing some DIYs, sharing with you our love of antiques and vintage and how we would, one, get something to sell, how we would restore an item, or how we would take a item apart to get pieces and parts to be able to sell the pieces and parts. So I just recently picked up some vintage crockery from an antique store where she got them over in England. So I was super excited about that. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm going to get, because they don't always sell just as is, but if I use the wonderful that have been around for a while IOD marmalade stamps, they're good sellers for me even as a reproduction. Just finding the vintage jars I think help. The ink is permanent, though I probably wouldn't run it through a dishwasher, just but or like try to clean it. I mean, it's a decor piece, so just dust it. So I'm going to share with you how I achieve this look. Move my box out of the way, get my handy dandy little tool. See if I can get closer for you. So we have the little jar. Out which one of the stamps I'm going to match. The sizing anyway. And usually it's the marmalade one. So there's like a couple different sizes of the one that says marmalade. So like this one is actually like too big because it'll go through the curve. But I have others. I picked out others. And then this one, little bouncy guy. This one is perfect to fit right here. So what I do to hold my stamp and to do a round object like this, I just use some packing tape. So I pull out a piece of packing tape, I grab my stamp. Now I'm going to do fold overs, but I'm not going to fold it all the way over because I want a little bit of the sticky. And this is going to give me, packing tape sticky, it's going to give me handles to hold onto it, which is wonderful. And then I'll have enough sticky to kind of attach it to the crock so that it will stay in place, and then I can transfer the image onto the crock. So IOD ink is permanent, so that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to get my stamp inked up. I'm going to get it placed. I'm going to attach that tape, and then I'm going to take just a Cricut like scraping tool. You can get these now at the Dollar Tree store, and then I'm just going to press on it to make sure that everything's getting if it doesn't all transferred, it's not any big deal because the original marmalade jars aren't all transferred either. So okay, let's see what we have. And there we go. And now see, I could have pressed harder a little bit, but it's not fuzzy and it's not like moved or shift or crooked. So I'm not going to worry about, because you have a few seconds that you can take rubbing alcohol and wipe that off to restamp it. But once it's sat there long enough, you're not going to just wipe it off. I even bought this one that is cracked. Who cares? They're decor pieces. They're old. This really looks like really close to the marmalade jar. So I am going to use the bigger one on here. That again, yet again, I got to make my little tape holder. And I know many of you have seen, if you watch my channel all the time, have seen this, but there's always new viewers that may not have. And you don't want to over ink when you're doing a stamp, because that's where you get blurry and it shifts. Okay, I've got it inked. I'm going to use my little fingers to hold. I'm going to tape that down. Same thing, I'm going to, well, this one's, the sides are sticking out a little bit, but that's okay. But see, the tape really holds it in place from it moving. Okay, let's see how we did. There we go. So let's start off with our 2 project pieces. We could not touch.
We're not keeping this bag, right?
No, we're not keeping that bag. So primitive, Furkins, sugar buckets, I tell you, are hard to come by in our area. We do have some in our booth, and they are priced quite high, and we could not
come along.
Yeah, we could not touch one even on this online auction, but the pieces and parts of one, and with a wonderful husband of Chris who is handy, and we hope that all the pieces are.
There's no lid. I mean, it's got everything but the lid, which is not uncommon either.
But we like project pieces. I mean, it's like a puzzle. So definitely like a puzzle, but look at the age of this. So yeah, will it be? I don't think it wasn't supposed to have a lid. It's a well bucket. It's more of like a bucket, not to bottom. Yeah, so project piece. When it came to the online auction, yes, I'm going to be doing a voiceover for Chris. You hope that all the pieces were there. It looked like all the pieces were there, and this is a very respectable online auction company. They do other auctions too that we've purchased for, and I feel like, you know, that we would know, maybe, hopefully. So, do y'all like puzzles? Good thing Chris loves puzzles. So, just matching up, see which one goes which way. It should all fit together, so it's going to be a lot of taping. See how you just kind of like, okay, let's see where this matches up. So a lot of times when these were made in olden times, they weren't glued. They were just made, and the swellage of the wood and the rings kept them together. But over time, because they're old, they dry out, they don't have the moisture in them anymore, they shrink, which causes the rings to then loosen up, or in this case, fall off completely. So now he's at that halfway point, and it's time to attach the handles, or at least tape the handles on. So they're attached to wood also. So this is a little bit trickier, taping it while you have 2 pieces and a wire moving it around every time you move.
It's coming together. The hard part's going to be then gluing it while it's, you know, untaping part of it and gluing it. And the rings.
So you definitely have to have patience when it comes to restoration, fixing stuff. So now he's got it, it's still taped together. So he's just using a syringe with some of the Tite Bond glue in there and working it into those areas. The wood has already shrunk. We're not going to be able to make the wood swell again. It is what it is. So it needs to be glued together. But you also don't really want to see the glue. So there's that. There's that. So a little bit of tape so he knows where he's glued it together to hold it in place. Okay, he has it all glued, and while the glue isn't necessarily set up, he's attaching the metal rings. So little by little, tapping them down. I don't even think he's going to get it exactly where it used to be. It's just he's just going to keep tapping it until it won't go down anymore. So now he feels like it's all together with the rings holding it in place. Some of the glue has probably partially dried enough that he feels safe removing the tape, so he can start cleaning off some of the glue so you don't really see it, which is, you want to keep it that primitive antique look that it is, and you don't really want to see the glue. So after it's all said and done and dried, then you can go back in with a little dental pick, the little Cricut tool, and clean up any of those areas.
And then goes along with this project piece.
Okay.
This one, the bucket is fairly decent shape, and we've restored these before, where this piece comes off with some glue and some brad nails. This one's going to need a little bit more work, but it's still doable. I mean, luckily, where it broke, all the pieces are still there.
So I wonder if this poor Furkin got dropped at some point. I'm guessing so, since the pieces are all there, or it just fell off of something. So he's just really just assessing what he needs to glue and how tight it needs to be. Luckily, every little piece and part, even this little piece, was inside that needed to be put back together, glued on. So that was a blessing that somebody had the forethought, like, I'm not just going to throw this piece out, I'm just going to throw it in the bucket so somebody else can someday do a restoration on this piece. So he's using some CA glue along with Tite Bond glue. CA glue will hold it a little bit faster because it has a 15-second dryer on it, and it dries clear, so just a little dab will do ya.
Yeah. Just a lot of gluing. Oh.
Not only did it have the brokenness, but it also has this water stain going on the top. So Chris is going to try some of the Howard's Restore product. And first he's starting off with the golden oak to play it safe, to see, like, you can go darker. It's hard to take it off when you get it too dark. But he knew as soon as he got it on, it was like, oh, the golden oak is way too light. So just using some of the walnut color in the Howard's Restore brought it back to the color that it needed to be. Not only did he restore them and glue them and get them all back together, the Howard's Restore brought them back to life. They are amazing saves, And if anybody is interested, we did end up putting these both up for auction on our eBay.
All right, so at an auction a while ago, we picked this cash register up. The main reason was Yvonne wanted these numbers out of it. This is missing its key, missing parts. So what I'm going to do is attempt to take it apart to see if we can figure out if we can get the keys out without a problem.
And I know y'all that I am late posting this video. It's one of those videos that Chris had done when I was kind of like out of commission working on, and it just got pushed back, and I actually already sold most of the register tags already on eBay. I am so sorry. But some of the comments were people couldn't believe how much for $12, how much these register tags would go for. So I'm like, okay, Chris, I know the video's old to us, will be new to you, but this is what it takes to take one of these old cash registers apart. And $12 after me watching the video of what he did to get them, thinking $12 wasn't enough, but you know, they are what they are, and that you kind of have to go with what everybody else is selling them for. How many of you just thought, okay, well, you just take that top piece off and the register tags will just pull out, and as easy as that? Nope, that's not. Nope, that's not how it all works. So, no, he had to figure out. I mean, this is the first time we've ever done this. We picked it up, I think $10 is what we ended up picking it up for. It's super heavy. These old cash registers are holy cannoli. But yeah, I mean, once he's done one, like if we run across a broken down one again, then so be it. He'll know what to do. But yeah, the first one's always the hardest of like, okay, how do I take it apart? It's this not like there's this YouTube video. Oh, we're making a YouTube video of how to take it apart. And really, for him right now, it's just a guessing game. Not are the only are the tags cool, but the keys are cool. And so he's got the tags off, and so now he's going to try to get the keys out. I had no idea what mechanisms or how the keys were attached. He figured out how to get the drawer open that had been open. No hidden treasure inside the drawer, unfortunately. We were hoping so that they left some money in there, but nope, it's just a drawer. So that's what he's working on next. Is that we kind of thought that maybe the keys would make cool decor pieces too. Wowzers, I can see why people just stop at the tags and don't go for the keys. He's hammering it. That is like it all has to come apart to get those keys out. Wow, I had no idea what I probably should have said, hey, the tags were good enough. But as I said, it was when I was down and out, not feeling very well at all. So bless his heart for like, okay, she said she wanted these, so I'm going to work on it until I get these apart.
Okay, so here's what's left of the cash register. That'll go to the scrap pile. Actually, there's a lot of copper or brass in it. But this is what Yvonne wanted. See all those numbers? I'm sure she'll be able to make something for everybody.
So I hope you enjoyed today's content. It was a little bit different since we weren't doing an auction. We weren't doing a home project, but these are things that we do on a daily basis. And sometimes we don't even we don't video. And Chris will just put something back together. And I'm like, hey, you should have videoed that. Or I stamped on a jar just to get it to resell, but I had a whole bunch. And I'm like, well, I should have videoed that. Or, you know, when I was down and out, not feeling very well on the couch for way too many weeks, Chris had taken that cash register apart. That cash register video got like tucked in my video. And then I recently was watching Flea Market Rescue, and she had made a comment about the price of the register tag. Not that she made a bad comment. The guy kind of explained to her, like, do you know what it takes to take a cash register apart? And that would made me remember, like, oh my gosh, Chris, you had that video. Where is that video? And unfortunately I had actually already listed and sold. I do have some of them in, yeah, I do have a few in my booth that I might grab, and they might be on eBay, they may not be on eBay. You'll have to check. The marmalade jars will be up, that I stamped, if anybody's interested. They're reproductions, but vintage England Crocs. And then along with Chris's wonderful restoration of the Furkin and the well bucket. There's probably like a fancy term, but I just like antiques, and I may not be an expert at it at all. I just visually, I know what we like, when that's what we're attracted to. So just getting it out there to one of our viewers, that we know would appreciate the hard work that goes into any type of DIY craft restoration. It's huge. Like, those of you who've already bought the register tags, thank you so much. Now you know how much hard work Chris put in. And I mean, I fast forward through a lot of it because it was a lot of video and a lot of him thinking, like, okay, now I have to take this screw. You kind of knew you had to take all the screws out, trying to figure out how to take that cash register apart. So patience. He has patience. Do we get frustrated? Oh, heck yeah. There's many times that you guys don't see that, but it's just what we do. So luckily we work together as a team. So thanks so much for watching today's video, and I hope you enjoyed today's content. You never know. Life has taken me down a different path, and not so much of the YouTube, but my health. So I have to like vary off sometimes what's going on, do fillers, and actually you're getting kind of extra videos going here on the Journey channel, because I'm having a lot of fun outside, and I'm like mentally thinking of home projects for when the winter comes. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you're part of our YouTube family on the Journey channel, thank you so much. And if you're watching this video and you're at the end of the video and you're not part of the Journey family, why not? Why have you not hit that subscription button yet? Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because we've been doing more videos on here on the channel, so you don't want to miss those extra videos. They're not just the Sunday auction haul going shopping videos. So again, thanks for watching. We will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.